My name is Jacob, and this is my entry into the free salon education Mizutani contest. We're going to be talking about toning with semi-permanent colors, do's and do nots. So let's start with the do nots. Do not get a cheap hair color, such as the Sally's brand Beyond the Zone. We always want to use professional hair colors, such as the Joico K-Pack Vero color intensities. So what I've gone ahead and done is I've made two formulas here. I've done a quarter-sized dollop of yellow with about probably a pea-sized dot of blue into 5 pumps of the Joico Moisture Intensive Repair mask. On the same token, I've done about a quarter-sized dollop of the Beyond the Zone into the mask as well. We can already see this is a lot darker and very, very thin compared to this. So even though this is a lot darker than our professional color, this one will leave almost no pigment into the hair, if any at all. This will give you a nice, even tone and coverage that will last you probably about 4 to 6 washes. I'm going to be applying this to a mannequin, who you can see I've lifted to probably about like a 9, 10. I didn't tone this, so this is its total raw, very warm color tone to it. What I'm going to do is I'm going to apply Formula A, our cheap formula, into a packet on this side. I'm going to apply Formula B into a packet on this side. From that, I will let it sit for 20 minutes. I will rinse out using cool water, and we will see what happens. So I applied my 2 packets, and just to prove that there's no camera trickery, we're going to show you, again, this is my Formula A for this one, or Formula 1. You can see it's that dark green that was in that bowl. Like I said, even though that looks very pigmented right now, once we go to wash that out, there will be no color left in that. If maybe a little bit, but it will not be pigmented as that is. And this is our professional side. You can see it's a very mint looking color, same as in the bowl there. This will come out true to this color. That's the big important deal about this, is that when you use inferior color products, the results are very hard to tell what you're going to get. So even though this one may come out as some form of a mint, that bowl in there is very, very dark. It's very hard to tell what that may come out as. Whereas I'm 100% sure that that one will come out close, if not exactly, to that mint color that is in that bowl. So the reason why I used conditioner instead of using the clear, some brands carry it, some brands don't. Both of these brands do carry it, but I want to show that if you are out of that, you can use conditioner. You can use a moisture-based conditioner. I used a masked because this hair is very damaged. Any sort of like regular conditioner would be nice, but this hair really needs a lot more moisture and protein back into it. So on those clients that say have had one too many highlights, that's a great step for also kind of deep conditioning the hair as well too. The formula for this, when you are doing the pastels, is always going to be probably about 5% to 10% of your bowl should be your target color. The rest will be your conditioner. Do not oversaturate the bowl with vibrant colors like these. You will overpower and you will get a dark, muddy tone on the hair. If it is pastel in the bowl, it'll be pastel in the hair. If you think, oh, it'll lighten up once I wash it out, it will not. it will still be dark and muddy in the hair. Alright, so this is after I've just gone through and rinsed out. As we can see, no color at all. Zero. Isn't that crazy? Like, anything, it just kind of maybe acts like a toner and just like kind of like takes out some of the warmth. But if you think about it in the sense of time versus money in the salon, say you went out and you bought this color here to do a client that wanted that Kesha mint green hair. You've spent I think it's $4 on that product, spent the 30 minutes applying it, letting it sit for 20 minutes, and then rinsing it out and having nothing. No results, no nothing. And you can't charge for that, obviously. So you've lost the time, you've lost the money you spent on the product, and you potentially lost that client because you didn't give them what they want. Whereas if we look at our professional side, we definitely have a green to it. It is, a little bit darker now because it's wet. I will show you once it's blow dried. I'll show you a picture of that. But you can see that that's so close to that color through right there. And I used almost nothing of these. Like I said, I used a quarter size of the yellow and then a pea size of the blue and 5 pumps of conditioner. That's so cost effective for what you're doing. Whereas if you were using a toner, you've just used half a tube of, a 10-1 or a 10 ash and like green additive to get that. And it lasts the same amount of time, and this will go in and make the hair feel better because you're using conditioner instead of using an ammonia based color. So let's go ahead and dry this. We'll show you what it looks like once it's dry, and then we'll talk about some tips and tricks after we do that.
Great. So now that we've seen what that product will do to the hair and why it's important to get the professional product versus the cheaper product, we're going to talk about some tips and tricks and things like that. First tip, the main tip is that a lot of professional brands, their blues tend to be very heavy in pigment, very diluted, which is great, but it definitely will, if you're having to mix colors yourself, you got to be sure that you're not mixing too much blue into it to get it to be too dark. A great thing is to start with a lighter base, mixing your blue into it to make sure that you're not making it too dark. So, say we're looking at the violet tones, the jewel tones, things like that are very popular right now. I would always recommend starting with a pink base instead of a red base, and then mixing a little bit of blue into it. That'll give you a great, vibrant purple. On the flip side of that coin, if you want to do that deep purple, a great thing would be start with a red base and then add your blue to it. It's going to give you a little bit more of like a plum tone. It's going to be a lot darker. It'll still be really shiny. It'll be easy to get out of the hair if you decide to get it out of the hair because it is semi-permanent still, but it'll just be a lot darker. A great tip that a lot of stylists, and I get asked a lot, is how to get a nice like aquamarine teal sort of color to it. Great thing is to start with a nice vibrant electric green and then add some sort of a blue to it. It will, since you're getting that electric green in there, you're getting that brightness, and then you're going to add a little bit of that like really nice like deep blue tone to it, which will give you that great perfect teal to it. That's a really good option, but again, start out with like a couple drops, nothing crazy. Hopefully you're not going to over get it too dark, because once you've gotten it too dark, it's really hard to get it a lot lighter after that. A great tip for top coats on hairs, like glazes and stuff like that, something that's quick and easy to get your ticket dollar up, but not spend a lot of time on it, is doing a top coat like a top coat of nail polish. So say you have that client that wants that paper white hair. We all have that client where it's like it's just never gonna be white enough. It's just they want it to be anime, see-through, white, silver, that tone. Great thing is adding a top coat of demi-permanent plus clear or conditioner. I tend to like to use a moisture conditioner because it also helps the hair heal a little bit better. It also makes it feel better. It's easier to work with. So what you're going to do is you're going to mix your color up, add a little bit of your color to some conditioner, and then comb that through the hair, making sure that all the tangles are out, wrapping it up, putting it underneath a bag, and then putting them underneath the dryer to really help that penetrate and soak in there. It won't affect your toner at all. Don't worry about that. You're not going to use a protein conditioner. You're going to use a moisture conditioner because protein will affect that color. So I always recommend a moisture versus a protein. You can also do top coats on reds. That's a great way to get that red to stay in there a little bit longer. You're looking at, those 6 RRs, those 7 RRs, ROs, those in there. Those are great for a top coat. They will give you 3 or 4 more washes. It kind of protects that color a little bit more. It does wash out. Same with it does come out onto clothes and stuff like that. But if you're using a 6RR or a 6RO, those clients tend to already know that is going to come out on their sheets and on their clothes and stuff like that. So they need to be a little bit more wary. But that's just some great tips to help stylists out, to give them extra options. It doesn't always have to be, run to your color bar and get the ammonia color. There's definitely options out there that are less damaging on the hair, make the hair feel great. That's primarily the main thing that I see in semi-permanent options, is that it's a great way to change without damaging the hair, and it's non-committal. So you can really go out and experiment and have a good time with it. And, once it's time to get those out of the hair, you can just really scrub it out, or, it's time to just color a little bit darker. You can color right over those after they've washed out and you got most of them out of, most of that pigment out of that hair. A lot of them will just color right over and you don't even have to worry about it. All right. Hope this helps.